As a video business owner that's generating over 6 figures every month and a full-time staff of 5 editors and contractors, it's very easy for me to get burnt out on my business and not balance my personal life with my business life. But I've found over the last 6 months a few tips on how to do this for myself, and hopefully this can help you too. Because maybe you're just always struggling to get that next job. Maybe you're doing every single thing from producing to shooting to editing, and there's just so many demands. Everything's always all over the place, and you can't just seem to get enough quiet down moments to yourself, and it just feels like you have to do it all. I was there once, but now I'm not. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to fix it. There was a time where I felt that I was the only person who could do every aspect of my business. I was the only one who could shoot the content. I was the only one who could edit the content. I was the only one who could take the calls and be the producer of the content. There was nobody else who could do as good of a job as I could. And I realized that that was being egotistical and frankly greedy, right? Now I give opportunities to people who I know can do an even better job than I can at those various aspects, but it took time for me to release my grip that I had and find people who were really qualified to do what I need them to do. Now it's all about building a really good team in the back end. So it starts by building a really good team, and that starts by finding really good team members. So in terms of hiring really good editors, I actually have a video where I do a deeper dive into this, but basically the way to do that is you just put out a interview process. You basically just put out an interview for your video editor where you give them raw footage and then you say, do your best job with this edit, make it 30 seconds or less. I'll pay you for your time. And if I like what you do, you have basically a guaranteed job. You'll get a ton of submissions, pay them, a small fee for every single edit that they do. And obviously you'll find somebody who just goes above and beyond. When it comes to videography and hiring somebody to replace yourself on set, the way that I personally have done that is I've hired people to come out to shoots with me. And on that day, I will obviously take a paid deduction and give some of that to them. And I will basically just observe them and do as little work as possible and pretend like I'm basically not there, even though I am. And if they mess up or anything and I have to give them feedback, then I do that. But I do as little as possible so I can see what it's like if I weren't in the field. Once you do this a few times, you'll start developing trust with your videographers and your editors, which means that they can start doing the work for you without you. And that's all about, so it really comes down to delegation and framing. When I work with a new client, I usually set the expectation of, hey, my team and I are going to help you deliver this content and help you make an amazing video. I don't say, I'm going to do the video, I'm going to do the filming, I'm going to do the editing. I say, we are going to help you. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it helps frame and set the context that I work with a team, that it's not just going to be me and them working together. Because often, since I'm the face of the business, I run the ads with me. I use my personal connections for the last 15 years of doing this. People are expecting to work only with me. But by setting that context and that framing, you'd be surprised how people don't really care if it's you or if it's somebody else. As long as you trust that person to fulfill on that promise and do just as good of a job as you can, it really doesn't matter. Once you have a team that can deliver consistently for you, then you have to stop being a micromanager. Things are going to go wrong, right? For me, I dealt with this for a long time of things going wrong in my business. Edits were delivered incorrectly, shots were messed up. Even though I have a great team, it's going to happen. And there was a lot of feeling of anxiety that came with that, and I felt really terrible. And I started basically micromanaging the process. But what you have to do is let your team make those mistakes and basically just own up to them. And when the client blames you, because they're going to blame you, and they're not going to blame your team, and you can't blame your team. You got to take the blame on for yourself. You have to just sit with that anxiety, be okay with it, be okay with the fact that you're going to mess up, and just kind of have that acceptance from the get-go. Once you do that and are okay with that, you're going to get a lot more clients who want to work with you, and you're going to be able to handle those clients and have more consistent reoccurring work because you're able to say yes to every project that comes your way. And as you know, from every project could come 3 or 4 more projects. So now I can take on and say yes to a lot more work, and that allows me to build the business a lot quicker. For example, there was a job I did about 6 months ago that I just totally had my team take care of it. I didn't have to touch it. It was a very low paid job, but it was for somebody I was doing a favor for because I thought that they might have some good connections. Sure enough, a couple months later, that client reached out to me and said, hey, we have XYZ company over here who wants to hire you for all these different events and conferences coming up over the next couple of years. And of course, I jumped at that opportunity, and now I'm more involved with that client, whereas I wasn't so involved in the first one. But because I was able to say yes to that job and take on that job and do it on a high level because my team executed, I was able to get more work from that job. So I guess, again, the lesson here is saying yes to more jobs, but not doing it yourself, having a team. Even if it means losing money, on some of the jobs or doing it at cost, you have to kind of figure out that cost value proposition for some of these jobs, because again, you don't know how much a good relationship with somebody is going to be worth in the long term. In fact, doing free work for people is also a great way to increase your leads and sales, because you'll find new clients that are going to want to work with you later once you deliver a great video to them. But it's all about finding your balance in life and making sure you're not working too much. I still am addicted to work. I absolutely love it. It's my passion. It's what drives me. It's why I wake up every morning, is to get stuff done, is to do my job, run my video business. But I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to be a little more laid back. And so, thanks for being on my journey with me. So, you were kind of on this journey together. And as I learn more, I'll kind of give you more tips on it. But for now, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want more tips on running a video business. Like the video, comment below if you have any questions for me or want to know anything more about video business ownership. And I'll see you in the next video.